YouTube, what great timing you must have to put out such a survey a day after the #1 video goes up. I find it crazy. I do. Because if you look at all of the questions, majority of these questions are revolving around that video and the things that it touched on. The rules and regulations. If other creators feel like this is a common problem. No, I mean, it's a good idea to ask all these people, but that means the creators have to take this seriously. So, to all the other YouTube creators out there, or any type of creator, because you could be on Twitch or something like that too. You could be major on Twitch, but you post on YouTube sometimes. This affects you as well. Because if you decide to end up in a situation, you decide to post a video one day and then it just gets removed or gets striked or something like that, something random happens and nothing's talked about, maybe that's why you gotta look at this. Samurai, nice to see you. Everyone else, nice to see you. But YouTube, this is very questionable. Hey, at least you didn't strike them again. You didn't strike them again. You decided to ask the people this time. Hey, do y'all feel like y'all agree with this? Yup. Good idea. You got the public's opinion. But all the creators, if you got this survey, because not a lot of people got it. I did though. I'm one of the people that got it. So if you guys got the survey, you guys have to answer these questions honestly. Based off what you've seen, based on other social media sites and stuff like that. Because they asked about it too. They asked about TikTok, whatever else you're a creator on. Because again, it wants to know what it's doing wrong. YouTube wants to see its faults. YouTube wants to see if it's doing stuff right. But with these questions, YouTube did decide to call everything that was in that #1 video that I'm gonna just put right up here. They called it all a story. Now, Cory has shown evidence. He showed his proof and stuff like that. Other people might have their own feelings on this too. I mean, people reacted to it, definitely. But I haven't seen everybody's story. So I personally can't talk for everybody. I can't even talk for Cory, but he has evidence. It's right there. It's not really you can't call it a story. Because if it's a story, then why would it be made up? Why would he have to make this up to all these different people on a platform that he's usually making content on? He had to make it that serious. And it's repetitive? That's weird. But the fact that it happens so much and it's built up anger that you can see, this has to be handled properly. And you guys are asking people, hey, how do we fix this? So, again, creators, if you see this, if you see that survey, if you see any type of questionnaire from YouTube, answer it honestly. Because the timing you have to answer honestly. And if you don't, that's what's gonna make all of this go down. It's not gonna help. Answer it honestly, please, because we need this to actually work. And a lot of people are saying cancel YouTube. It might just need to be rebuilt instead of canceled. If you cancel it, a lot of people are losing jobs that way and stuff. That's not helping. So, what we need to do is rebuild it. What we need to do is tell them what's wrong so then they can fix it. Because what Cory did, it started something. Other people might have said something too. I don't mean to discredit you guys. If you guys did say something, thank you. Thank you for saying something. I really appreciate it. Other people will definitely appreciate it too. They obviously just have to look around and find it. But until that is happened, until that is said, right now, look where we're at. #1 video, someone getting mistreated. A lot of small creators that some people know, they give up. Other people give up. They're like, YouTube's not giving me equal opportunity, so I'm moving on to something else. Twitch, Patreon, anything else. They'll just move. And then YouTube wants to know why it's not the center of creativity, the center of showing people how much others can do. They try to put out creator on the rise, best, like, not best, but gaming person on the rise, things like that. But it doesn't actually point out new people. It'll point out some people that other people didn't hear of. Cool, that's like once every, like, what, week, month? It's not very effective compared to all these other things that they could have done. And it's really not helping other people at all. Like, okay, cool. You might say, because I even looked, they said, hey, you should read the newsletter, see what they say about creator growth. All right, cool. What it says is try to post weekly. I know people that post every damn day. I know people that post every other day. I know people that stopped posting because it really wasn't helping them at all and they felt like they were doing something wrong inside. When really, it's really just the fact that YouTube's not pushing out as much as it could. Cool, it helps with people who are already up there. If you're already up there, you're already getting like a bunch of views and stuff like that, you probably deal with other problems. So I personally wouldn't understand you. But other people do. Other people obviously understand these problems. Cory probably does. Markiplier. I don't know how he feels about everything, but he probably understands some problems too. Jacksepticeye definitely does. There's some other creators as well that I didn't name, but you probably know a bunch of people that also dealt with these issues. You know a bunch of other people who can't grow that much and are saying, oh, I might need to work more, I might need to do more. But at the end of the day, if you put all this work in, if you feel like you're doing the most that you can and you're not getting back how much you need, that is why these surveys are important. You need to do these honestly. You need to answer these with like everything. You have complaints or something like that, you best type them out in like essays or whatever and be mad detailed, explain everything. Don't put all of your information there because that's, again, one of the things it says. But I would just say look at some of these things, right? Look at some of these questions, answer them honestly. And again, I didn't say my theory, but I feel like if we don't answer this correctly, like let's say we're not answering this with our own personal opinion or what we've seen so far, because YouTube asks us one of the questions like, oh, do you believe these stories that other people tell? Now, if you think what Cory said was a story, I don't know what to tell you. That's your belief. I'm not going to charge your belief and be like, oh, you should believe in me as facts and stuff. Nope, not going to do that. But I just want you to know, if you were in a heated argument or being mistreated, people would want to fix that as well if you brought it up. If you brought it up, it wasn't treated correctly, this is a chance to start changing things. This is a chance to make things better. And that's what we need. We being the small creators, we being bigger creators, we being YouTubers in general, need this type of change. And this is something that could start it. This is something that could lead YouTube into a better direction. And if we just ignore it and just answer these questions willy-nilly, just saying like, oh yeah, we're fine with how YouTube is, they're not going to change. And who else will? They don't need to if you're going to say that everything's right. Some questions, personal income, you can answer that however, don't really matter. Yep, one of the questions, I'm reading it word for word. YouTube values the diversity of its creators, ethnicity, gender, etc. That's a question where you can strongly agree, slightly agree, have no opinion at all, like agree or disagree, neither, slightly disagree or strongly disagree. However you feel about that is how you feel, but that's a question. Another question is, does it celebrate all the creators equally, depending on how they identify themselves, whether it's race, gender, again, sexuality, age, or channel size? YouTube tends to celebrate certain people through emails. So it's not like they don't do it at all. Unless you don't get emails, then that's different. But I get emails. So I would slightly agree they do it. But in the matter of, oh, look at this person made a video saying I hit like 100 or 100K or something like that. I don't see that often. Some people do it, some people don't. But for the people that do it, they're not putting it out there like, hey, look how great this person's doing. Look at this creator, they just did so much. Look how much they earned. Look how happy they are for doing so much. I don't see that. If you guys see it, cool. But again, everybody has to answer honestly from what they see. I don't. YouTube helps new and aspiring creators succeed. I don't feel like I need to really say anything. I'm just going, no. I personally don't feel like they do. But other people might. Other people grow faster than me, doing different things, various different things. But for how much effort I put in, I feel like I should grow more, a bit. I don't know. YouTube celebrates creators. Again, repetitive question. This is one of the questions that connects to Corey's video. YouTube is unbiased in removing inappropriate content. Now, what do you see as inappropriate? However you define it, they will ask you that later. But that is something that can change depending on what it is. Sometimes certain things are like childish, not needed at the moment, things like that, but it's like some people allow it. So it's gonna vary depending on who you are, how you are. Next. This was a do you agree or disagree? YouTube enables creators to succeed regardless of identity, gender, or race. So, does it help people grow or do better depending on, like, not counting, like, gender, race, and things like that? So, is it helping everybody, basically? Some people it does. If I look at my YouTube analytics, it's not going to tell me that things were shared around to other countries and things like that. It did before, and then it stopped. Maybe because of my lack of uploading, not sure. But again, from a collective standpoint, I looked at other channels, not just mine, and I haven't seen it. So that's a no from me as well. I disagree. Copyright and content policies. Again, up to you guys. You guys see it happen with other people, other YouTubers, other bigger YouTubers that you may watch. That's, again, up to you. I would say that at times it could be fair, other times it can't. With some people it is. It's understandable. You can see why. They're just, like, doing their own thing. That's why it's like that. With certain people, it's not. And that's why it's still, like, in the middle. That's why it's things that you have to take seriously and answer these all honestly. Because if you don't, then it's just going to mess things up. Yep. And here it is. I believe the negative news stories I hear about YouTube to be true. So, they may not be talking about Cory. They may be talking about Cory. But no matter what, any video that has talked about YouTube being a certain type of way to, like, not hurt the creators, but, like, not affect their growth to where they have to do it on their own. Because some people have to go on other platforms. Some people went to Twitch. Some people went to their friends and decided, hey, share this to your other friends. Like, it wouldn't be YouTube helping them grow. It would be them helping themselves. And those are two different things. So you can't give YouTube credit for something like that. You can definitely be happy about it. Congrats on you reaching whatever you did. But that is not a YouTube achievement. That is yours. After hearing a negative story about YouTube, I typically feel like it's unfair to blame YouTube. Why would you not feel like it's your fault? That's what I don't get. If it's a problem that you have, right? How is it somebody else's fault? I want to know. Okay, so YouTube's affecting people's growth. YouTube's not like treating people fairly. Okay. So whose fault is it? You guys control like the bots. Some people appeal it and then you deny it again. So if someone denies it again, there's no way that you're gonna sit here and try to tell me, oh yeah, that's just their fault. They're under YouTube. That would still be a thing that YouTube has a control over. Whoever reviewed it, that's still a person under YouTube, under whatever. And they still should take complete, like, not fault, because again, it's how they felt about it, but you should look at it yourself and then be like, okay, this is why I said that. I said that this was wrong because of the fact that I looked at this rule and felt like it didn't, like it broke it. It broke this rule, it went against it. So I had to do this to it. I had to make sure it's banned, striked, whatever. But that would still be under YouTube's name unless one of the people decided, unless like, let's say in a hypothetical situation, a random person decided, you know what, I want to report this video just because I don't like this creator. If YouTube decides to follow along with that and then just do whatever afterwards, if it's the first time, I don't know how the process works. You probably can't blame YouTube for that because it's one, another person said it, it's probably not under them, and then it's a bot confirming it. But if it has to be reviewed, then it's definitely under them because human reviewer at that point. Because it has to check for the bot's mistakes. Yep, after hearing the negative stories about YouTube, what actions are you going to take? These actions listed here, only 2 of them I can look at and then be like, this is understandable. Some people would take a break off YouTube. Understandable. Some people would definitely make a angry video just saying why all of this is wrong. You can do that. You have to make sure people see it or something like that. But you can definitely do that. You can definitely speak your opinion. You would probably explore other platforms. That's what a lot of people do. A lot of people get upset with YouTube and then just leave. They go to Twitch. I know a lot of creators that went to Twitch. I'm Dante, your age. Things happen to make them leave, and then they're like, you know what? I feel more comfortable here. So I'm staying here. I'm not gonna leave. I'm on Twitch a lot. That's not because of YouTube. I didn't feel like I was growing that much, so I went somewhere else and I was like, I can go live here and then just make videos here. I felt like it would be, you know, more efficient for me. Better as a like idea or whatever. But some people do that because of YouTube. YouTube pushed them away to where they decided to do that. You can stop making content in general. You can just continue to upload and act like nothing happened. I don't feel like you can really ignore it that well. Some people can, because it would be like, oh, this doesn't affect me. It's whatever. I'm gonna just keep uploading. But this could affect everybody. It's not a thing where one person dealt with something and now it's like, oh, well, that's just them. You can't be like, oh, personally, I wouldn't do it. No. It could definitely get to you. If you're a creator, it could definitely get to you too. It can happen to anyone. And it's based on the rules. If they follow the rules that they put out, it can happen to everyone. Everyone can get treated equally. Everyone can get that same strike, ban, or whatever. So, again, have to pay attention, have to do these things correctly. Or else you're just going to be sitting here just saying, oh, well, this doesn't bother me, I'm fine with it. When you're really not. It's not really going to help. And then they ask, oh, what do you want us to do? Basically, the question word for word, please select the top 3 values that are most important to you in terms of an ideal content sharing platform. A platform that is, and it gives you all these options. Now, I feel like they should care more. For the creators, they should care more, they should look into it more, they should give more effort to make sure things are right. Because if they're just doing things willy-nilly, that's going to mess things up, that's going to make it worse, and that's going to not make them the platform they want to be. And they'll try to get people back and all these other things, but it won't work if things are going wrong. And after that, it's just minor questions that they compare to other apps. They'll ask, oh, does Instagram do this? Does TikTok do this? Does Twitch do? Nope. Maybe yes, depending on who you are. Maybe it does. But for me, it doesn't. But all I ask of you guys, please answer this honestly. Because this can definitely affect the future. It can definitely help all creators. Even if you don't deal with this problem, this can definitely help. So, thank you for your time. Please, if you do have this survey, look into it. If not, maybe you can email YouTube and tell them how you feel about everything. Just say something, please.